Oh, the time has come. The world has been waiting. I hear it every single day, getting hosed every single day, Cal. I just get
hosing yourself.
I get beat up. The RX-7's wheels are done, but you obviously know that by clicking on this video. Let's go pick them up. You guys know the routine by now. We just got the okay to go around to the shipping dock and pick them up. I'm not gonna open them now, Cal. We're not even allowed. You can't peek.
You can't. They're sealed. Vacuum tight seal.
That's not what that means. They literally just finished putting the seal on all the pieces. So we can't mount tires on them until tomorrow. They have to drive for 24 hours. I don't even think I'm gonna look on.
Have you not eaten this?
That's my scone from this morning that I forgot it was there. It was like $3.
$3 for that?
It's like the size of like a baby turtle. That was a bad reference. It's like
no,
very, very small.
I understand exactly.
I'm gonna show you guys what these puppies look like. I have not even seen them for myself quite yet. The larger boxes are for the rears and the smallers are for the fronts. I'm gonna go ahead and go for the one that I wanna see the most, which is the rear wheels, because that's gonna have the biggest dish and the biggest offset. So if you guys don't remember, we actually had HRE come in-house and they came here, did measurements, 3D scanned the wheel well. These should be 100% perfect. And what's awesome about these is these wheels are also spec. Push the maximum amount of space towards these UAS bags that we have in the RX-7. So the fitment on these bad boys should be absolutely unreal. Ooh. Ooh. Before I show you, I'm gonna give a little context. Oh, I can like see the faces of them. So I wanted to go with a wheel that was period correct with this car. I thought about doing something kind of wild and crazy, and I originally wanted to do like a really, really crazy color. But I didn't want to do something that was gonna like override the car and like take away from the detail of everything else. So I wanted something that was gonna look clean and really classic. So there's a wheel that HRE made back in, I think it was the 90s and the early 2000s, but they discontinued it like over 10 years ago. It was like one of the most popular wheels of that time. And I went to HRE about a year ago and I said, I really want to run that wheel on this car. So after some convincing, we got them to bring that wheel back and they started to make some for my car. It's called the HRE 540. It's a 3-piece mesh style wheel. I gotta show you the details.
Ooh, dang. Those are sick.
Dude,
that is filthy.
So shiny.
Looks like a front.
I have no idea what this one is.
Dang, it's blinging in the sun. Holy shit.
Damn.
So polished centers, polished outers.
Satin black inners.
So satin black inners is definitely the way to go. If you get brake dust or anything, you can't see it. That's the way to go for sure. I love the polish. Woo! Hot boy, dude. Will they fit the Supra?
I have no idea.
Good luck.
Holy, those are gangster, dude. I'll be honest, I wasn't real sure, but that front.
Do they clear the big brake kit? I can't tell.
I can't tell.
You might need to look at the back of the wheel. They're not square, I'm assuming.
All you gotta do is look at the part number here. Look.
This says R, right? I don't remember.
This is R11. Yep. Oh. So this is a rear. This is 7.5, 2.5. I'm gonna push back over.
That looks so good.
Imagine it over these brakes.
Here we go.
Did not fit.
Hey, let's not talk about clunks around here.
Ooh, let me get a lug.
Damn.
They got plenty of clearance.
Dude, that has like 3 hairs. Oh, fuck.
Let me see.
Look at that. Look, I'll put my finger. I can't put my finger.
Oh, you're good, dude.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's awesome.
That's good.
Here.
That's like 6 millimeters.
No, that's what happens when you have them come down with a freaking measuring scanner and scan them in.
Because these are so fresh, the sealant needs to dry 24 hours, so we're not gonna be putting tires on anytime soon. I'm actually not expecting my tires to be healed till next week on Tuesday, so we kind of have a little bit of a small wait. I'm gonna try to put some wood underneath the car and then lower the car down on that wood to kind of get like a wheel fitment check to get us a closer idea of what it looks like. But you get a really, really good fitment of how aggressive we're pushing out on this. And that was like the biggest thing I wanted to do, was really push out so we can get that perfect flush fitment. And HRE did a killer job in doing that. Like the detail in which the spacing of the brake and the wheel is completely insane. That is so close. All right, so here's a look off the left side so you can kind of see how gnarly we went with this fitment. So when we have some meat on the side of these wheels, it should stack up really, really well. I'm looking around the shop for more wood like this because I wanted to put wood blocks underneath it and then lower the car onto the wood so we can kind of sink the wheel up into the arches, but I don't think I have anything here that can do that. So kind of out of luck. And I just finished putting the lug nuts on the car. I think that the full polish really brings the whole entire car together. And it being a smaller wheel, that really, really helps not make the car look kind of ridiculous. It's just incredibly clean, like so clean. That's like the only thing I can use to describe this.
TJ's not big on the super flashy things, but that's flashy, and I love it. I love the full, I almost said chrome. Polish.
Don't call it chrome.
It's not chrome.
It's not chrome.
But it's shiny, and it's unbelievably cool. I think it's really good.
I want to take the blue tape off, but if I do that, that will really give us a higher chance of ruining these lips when we go to put the tires on. Dude, the J-lip is like fragile. So we need to be very, very careful here. I'll pull one of the lips back so you can see it.
No, you have it at the front. You have it at the front. Go over
Yeah,
there.
but I want to see, oh, I want to see it.
Stop.
I posted an Instagram photo, which was a couple days for you guys, and I purposely did it showing the blue tape, like barely in the photo, and everyone in the comments was like, ugh, blue, why would you go blue wheels when you have red stitching in a white car? Way to ruin it. And I'm like, got him. Got him. Get me, baby. Yeah, so this is the same style lips that we did on the BRZ. It's known as the J-lip. So see how thin this lip is? A lot of times a wheel will be rolled and the lip will be pushed back in, but this is the opposite. It's flared out, so it gets really thin here, but it looks phenomenal when you have a tire on it. Putting a tire over this is gonna be scary, so we're gonna be leaving this blue tape on here until we get our tires just to make sure we don't ruin anything on these wheels. And now seeing these big brakes behind this wheel, I need to figure out how to get rear brakes on the back of this car. I know they exist. I've had a couple of you guys send me some links to some rear brake kits that were made for this car, but the reason why there aren't that many is because the e-brake for this car is pretty odd, and if you were to do a rear brake kit for this car, you'd have to do a second caliper, and that's not too common for street cars, that is. There are some options out there, and I think I'm gonna pursue them because I need to get something. This is rather large for a rear brake, but I need to get something to fill up this rear. These wheels look tiny in these big wheel arches, but once it's up and there's meat, it should be perfect. But I really, really like how the chrome accents the carbon fiber and the white. This car, even when it has its tires, will not be in its final stage. I repeat, that's not its final stage. There are still more things to come for the car that will tie it together. A lot of that is for the front of the car, but it is really getting damn close. Once these tires are on, we're gonna go for our first real drive. So I feel like there's gonna be some comments saying that these are the same wheels as the BRZ, and they're not. I will agree, they are similar. It's the same like mesh design. They're not the same dimensions, and they're not the same exact shape, but this is HRE's like classic line. This is a very, very modern look. And on these wheels, they're concave, meaning they bow in, but this actually is true to like the old school style in the fact that they used to bow out the mesh design. You can see it a lot on the rear actually. So the rears, you can see these spokes are kind of like bowed out, and that was to help clear room for the brakes. In modern time now, it's more about getting the concave look, but on these it's actually quite different. The barrels and the lips are the same. This has the J-lip design, which as you can see right here has that same J-lip design. But it's pretty neat seeing these wheels side by side. Very, very similar, but different. This is by far, if you haven't figured out, this is like my absolute favorite wheel style. And then mixing it with a 3-piece is like a home run for me. I can't stop staring at that. That's so good. So I drove the Supra home to feel the suspension on the highway and to get it better. This is where a big dip is. See if it rubs? No rubs.
You went super slow.
I went really slow. But I wanted to get an idea of what the coilovers felt like when on the freeway, when driving on the road. They're pretty soft. I have the rears at max dampening, which don't really need it anymore because we raised it a little bit, so I could probably loosen the rear a little bit. But the fronts are about medium. They feel pretty good. I'm getting a little bit of rubbing if I turn pretty sharp or if we're going fast. There's a little bit of weight on like that corner, but it feels really good. The coils, I mean, the car is like responsive. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know how a car from 1993 feels this good. It's more responsive than my BRZ, and the ride quality is like decent. Doesn't feel like stock, but it's decent.
And I'm feeling